Welcome to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, the #1 podcast and resource for Black entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful, sustainable businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. If you're currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, you're invited to join us each and every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family and get ready to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 463. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have another outstanding and informative show in store for you. Today's show topic is how to build a business that creates wealth and freedom using this simple formula. How to build a business that creates wealth and freedom using this simple formula. Now, most entrepreneurs start their businesses to make money and to take control of their lives. But unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. And many times we become slaves to our business and we're not even making a profit. Now, on today's show, I'm going to give you several things. Number one, I'm going to give you a simple formula. Number two, I'm going to give you a framework. And number three, I'm going to give you examples of how to build a business that provides you with wealth and freedom. In short, I'm going to teach you guys how to control time and money. No, you don't have to be a magician, but I will show you how to control time and money for your benefit. Now, before we get to today's content, I just want to share a few things with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. First and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's broadcast, and I'm going to share all my social media contact information and resource links, such as the link to my latest book, Unlocking the Power of ChatGPT, the Ultimate Prompting Handbook for Beginners. You can go to unlockingchatgpt.com for more information. And if you're not up on the AI stuff and the ChatGPT stuff, you need to make sure that you're able to leverage ChatGPT and artificial intelligence for profitability and productivity. So go to unlockingchatgpt.com for more information. Also, don't forget about BEB Academy. Go to bebacademy.com, which is our online learning portal. We have all types of online courses, resources, masterclasses, and downloads to help you elevate your entrepreneur IQ. It is free for the first 3 days, and you have complete access to everything inside the academy. Go to bebacademy.com, or you can just go to the website blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, and you'll see the academy link on the first page. Now, let's get ready for today's show. What do we do when we start a business and that business looks absolutely nothing like what we envisioned? You're not making enough money from the company to live comfortably, and you find yourself working to the bone just to survive. Now, most entrepreneurs want wealth and freedom, but don't know how to create it. So on today's show, I'm going to break down a simple formula that I use to help me achieve the wealth and freedom that I desired from my business. And I'm also going to give you some real life examples that you can use. And what I'm hoping for today is to be able to create another impactful episode that's going to level up your entrepreneur IQ. And what I'm going to teach you is how to control time and money. Now, in August, I believe, of 2019, I did a similar episode, so you can go back to episode number 264 if you want to listen to that. But today I'm actually going to go into more depth about it. So I call the formula that we're talking about the freedom equation. And the freedom equation is cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. So we're going to break down each component, and I'm going to give you some real life examples and a framework of how to create your own freedom equation. But first, let me just tell you about the power of freedom and how it's impacted my life. And I'm going to get to my quick story in a second. But most of the time we end up trading hours for dollars. Okay. You only have a finite amount of hours in a day that you actually can work, and you're trading those hours for dollars. You might not be fulfilled in the job that you're doing right now. I had a job that really meant absolutely nothing to me. I didn't even feel like I was doing good stuff, even though I was, but it just was not fulfilling. So you may be feeling that. You may be in a position that you don't like your employers, or your coworkers, and that may be something that's bothering you. And you just know that you're really not in the right space. And so what happened with me was I had gone to college, gotten in corporate America. I was a stockbroker at Merrill Lynch. And it just so happened a lot of my clients were either athletes, entertainers, or entrepreneurs. And so that's kind of like a different world. When you're an athlete, an entertainer, an entrepreneur, you're not a standard civilian that's working 9 to 5. So your mindset is probably a little bit different. And so as I was working with these entrepreneurial clients, I'm like, man, this is who I want to be. Now, I had always had side hustles and businesses since the age of 8 or 9 growing up. And that was something that was innate in me. So I knew eventually I was going to want to start my own business. And what I came to find out was that one of the things that I really disliked was my lack of freedom, meaning that I couldn't just go anywhere I wanted at any time. I had to be in the office, or I had to report to somebody, hey, this is what I'm doing. And for me, I'm a creative type, and I like to have freedom and flexibility to do what I want, when I want to, with whoever I want to, and not have to report to anybody. So I'm probably, as my family says, I'm like the worst employee ever. Not that I didn't do my job, but I was always thinking differently. I was always thinking as an entrepreneur, and I'm a free spirit. I like freedom and flexibility. And what you'll find with many entrepreneurs, besides the money, now obviously we're in business to make money, what they really want is the freedom and flexibility. And that's paramount. You want to make the money so it gives you freedom and flexibility to focus on the things that you feel are important, things that fulfill you. And that's the space I'm in right now. I mean, I turn things down for lots of money because I don't feel like doing them. Speaking engagements. Now, I still do speaking engagements, but if I don't feel like going out, 3 weekends in a row speaking, guess what? I'm going to turn it down. I have offers all the time, and I love to speak, but sometimes I need to have time to decompress. And so when you have that freedom and flexibility, then you're able to live life on your own terms. And so we're going to talk about that today. So let's start off by breaking down the formula. So remember, the formula is called the freedom equation. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. Guys, this is literally how we control time and money. So your cash flow controls the money, and the passive income controls the time. Let me just tell you another real quick story before we get into the nuts and bolts of the episode. So when I was a stockbroker, sometimes on Friday afternoon, my coworkers and I would go down to Atlantic City. We go to the casinos, we play a little blackjack, hang out, get some drinks or whatever, and then we drive back to Philly. And so one day I'm on the blackjack table, and this is a story I actually told my oldest daughter about a week ago. We were just talking about freedom and flexibility. And I'm sitting at the blackjack table. I'm suited up. I took my jacket off and my tie off, but, I'm coming directly from the office. And I'm sitting next to this young guy. I probably was about 26, 24. Actually, not even that old. I think I was about 23 at the time. And this guy looked like he was younger than me. He was probably like 20 or 21. And we're playing blackjack, and, we're talking to each other throughout the game. And I asked him, I said, man, what do you do for a living? Because this guy was betting crazy hands, crazy money, $500 a hand, $1,000 a hand. And I was like, this dude must have money. And so he was like, excuse the French. He said, man, I don't do crap, right? I cleaned it up. I said, what do you mean you don't do anything? He said, my dad and I own 10 Domino's franchises. And he said each month, those Domino's franchises spin off anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 each per restaurant. So 10 times 10 is 100,000. 10 times 20 is 200,000. So he said, what I do is I pay a manager to go hire managers for the restaurant. And my dad and I, all we do is oversee the stuff. And he said, so basically, I don't do crap. I'm looking at numbers, making sure everything is correct, overseeing my general manager who manages the store managers and the employees. And I'm like, damn. So that's passive income. So cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. So when I asked him, what do you do? And he said, man, I don't do nothing. Basically, he counts money and manages. Now, nothing is totally, passive. You're going to have to do some level of work, but we're going to get into that in a second. So that was another story. And that really, hit home for me because I'm busting my hump trying to find entrepreneurs as clients and the athletes and entertainers. And this guy's down in Atlantic City. He was like, yeah, I'm down here now he lived in Jersey. I'm down here about 2 times or 3 times a week because he didn't live that far from Atlantic City. And but he had freedom and flexibility. And I'll share a couple other stories along the way about being able to control time and money. So once again, let's break down the formula. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. And this is how we control time and money. Cash flow controls the money. Passive income controls time. So cash flow, guys, is the lifeblood of any business. And what it does, it controls the money. So the definition of cash flow, it's a measure of how much cash your business bought in or spent in a total over a period of time. Cash flow is typically broken down into cash flow from operating activities, investing activities, and financing activities on the statement of cash flow. And that's basically a common financial statement. So cash flow is the money that's coming into and out of your bank account. So just like you get paid, right? If you get paid every 2 weeks, your cash flow is every 2 weeks. Just imagine if you got paid every day, right? So some people would like it, some people wouldn't. But if you got paid every day, you would never be in a situation where you don't have any money and you're waiting for your next paycheck. So cash flow is the lifeblood of any business. Now, the question is, in this formula, how do we create or how do we get that cash flow? And the way we have to get that cash flow when you're an entrepreneur is we have to sell your products or services on a consistent basis, or you have to have investment income to create that cash flow. One of my friend's dads used to always talk about, he didn't say cash flow, but he said, I need my everyday money, my every week money, and my every month money. And so he had a hustle that he'd make a couple bucks every day. He had his weekly paycheck. And then he had rental properties where he would get paid from the tenants every month. So he said, I want my everyday money, my every week money, and also my monthly money. So cash flow. So we get that cash flow by selling our products or services. Or if you're an investor and you own real estate, you're going to get money from your tenants each and every month. So sales are the most common source of cash flow for small businesses. Okay. So big companies, they have investment income that helps with their cash flow. You may have cash flow with real estate or stocks or bonds or whatever. But the sales, the most common source of cash flow for small businesses is sales. Now, the question is, how do you create consistent sales to ensure a consistent cash flow? Once again, this is what kills a lot of businesses. And I'll use the mortgage business as an example. When I started the mortgage business, I was making money in chunks. But when you start off, I didn't have a pipeline of clients. So it took me 2.5 months to close my first loan, right? So I made nice money there. It took me another 1.5 months to close the next one, another month to close the following one. So I didn't have money coming in on a consistent basis, but my bills were still coming in on a consistent basis. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So the consistency of cash coming into your account, that's major. It's the lifeblood of any business. So once again, sales are the most common source of cash flow. And what you need to have consistent sales, guys, is one thing. You need a sales system. A sales system. Now, remember the framework we're talking about. We're talking about the freedom equation. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. So you need a system, a sales system. And the sales system is comprised of 3 different things. a lead generation system, a fulfillment system, and a referral system. I'm going to repeat that. A sales system has 3 components: a lead generation system, a fulfillment system, and a referral system. And when you talk about passive income, if you don't have systems in place, you're never going to have passive income. Okay? A lead generation system. That's something that generates leads on a consistent basis without you doing anything. So that could be a sales funnel. It could be driving people to a webinar. You could have other people selling for you where you're not actually doing the work. So that's a lead generation system. So when I was in the mortgage business, one of my good friends we hired as a loan officer, and we used to joke around because he would carry these 3 files with him everywhere, right? It was almost like he was carrying a baby. And we're like, yo, bruh, 2 of these 3 we know aren't going to work. And the third one is it's a slim chance that we're going to be able to get this loan done. But he was carrying around these files like they were a baby or something. And the reason he was so focused, his attention was so focused on these files was because he didn't have anything else in the pipeline. He was like, yo, if none of these close, I'm not going to make money. I'm not going to eat. And that's the benefit of having a sales system, because there's always going to be fallout. When you when you have a sales system, you may have 10 loans in the pipeline, but maybe 5 of them close and 5 don't. So you can't sit there just waiting on that. So whatever type of business you have, I don't care what you sell, you need a lead generation system. All right. Not just haphazard. You need a system. So once again, if I'm doing mortgages, I might have a sales funnel where I'm giving away a free book, right? And that free book may be Mortgages Made Simple for first-time home buyers. Then I'd send them through that sales funnel. They get the free book, they read the book, then I tell them to go to a webinar or a video, and then I have them do a one-on-one consultation. But I can have that all set up without me doing it one-to-one. So once again, the first thing you need is a sales system, and the number 1 component of that is a lead generation system. Number 2, you need a fulfillment system. How are you going to fulfill those products or services that you sold, right? If you sell something, you got to fulfill it, right? So what is your fulfillment system? If it's a physical product, then you may have Amazon. If you're selling on Amazon, Amazon's going to fulfill it. Or you may have somebody else in your office fulfilling your products or services. And the third component of that sales system is a referral system. Okay, you already have clients or prospects that you're working with. Why not have them give you additional names and contact information for more prospects? Really, these 3 things that I just talked about in this sales system, this is how you scale a business. A lead generation system, a fulfillment system, and a referral system. And if you put those things in place, you're always going to have cash flow. And that's what we're talking about. You want daily cash flow if that's the way your business works. Just imagine if you owned a restaurant and the only time you made money was on Saturday and Sunday. That's not good for your cash flow. You need that blood circulating in your business every day, that cash coming in every day. And so when you have that, the world looks different to you. So when you got hundreds or thousands of dollars coming in every day, you got your bills that come in, you're not worried about it. Guess what? Because you got the money. It's funny, my uncle used to tell me this, and he's old school. He's passed away now. But he was like, man, I pay my bills. This is before the internet. He said, as soon as that bill comes in, I pay the bill. So if it comes in on Monday, I get my mail, sit down, I write a check, send the bill out. Now, he had his own business. He had a funeral home. And so that was his thing. He didn't have to worry about balancing his checkbook. He used to always joke about that because he had cash flow coming in all the time, in addition to other businesses and real estate that he owned. He didn't have to look at balancing the checkbook because he always had money in there. So what we're talking about, guys, is how to build a business that creates wealth and freedom using this simple formula, which is the freedom equation. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. All right. So we talked about the cash flow. Now let's talk about the passive income. What is passive income and how do we get it? Remember, passive income controls time. So when you're not doing the work, you're not trading your hours for dollars, that means you're creating passive income. The definition of passive income is income earned with little or no effort. Income earned with little or no effort. Now, not everything or most things are not totally passive. Okay. If you're getting, dividends off of your investment account, that's pretty much passive, but you still have to overlook and make sure you have the right investments that you're invested in. Okay. Real estate, if you own properties, you still have to be diligent in terms of upkeep and maintenance of the properties and make sure that your tenants are treating the property respectfully and also that they're paying on time. So nothing is truly, totally passive, okay, unless you have an insurance policy or something that pays, or an annuity that pays you out on a monthly basis, and all you're doing pretty much is sitting back, getting money each month. Your retirement, your pension, an annuity, or whatever. That's totally passive, but most things aren't. So passive income controls time. How do we get passive income? So what you have to do, guys, is you have to create a sales and fulfillment system that automatically generates and fulfills sales with little or no effort on your part. Now, we talked about it before in terms of actually cash flow. You need a sales system, and it's the same thing with the passive income. Okay. But you need sales and fulfillment of those sales with little or no effort. And so you're going to be creating a machine basically to replace your involvement in the system. So you're taking yourself out of the day-to-day per se of that business, and you're replacing it with a machine, which is the system. Now, determine what products or services that you can sell that are going to allow you to create this passive income. All right. Some types of businesses are not as passive income friendly as other types of businesses. So if you're trying to get or create the freedom equation, you need to be cognizant of what you're selling. Now, remember, guys, you can only sell 6 types of things. If you've never heard this before, I talk about it on a lot of the podcasts throughout, the BEB history. But it's your physical products, your digital products, your services, someone else's physical products, someone else's digital products, and someone else's services. Those are the only 6 types of things that you can sell. So you need to sit down and evaluate and break down, am I even able to create a passive business or passive income with the type of business that you currently have set up? Okay. So once you figured out that you must have a sales and fulfillment system that's going to sell and deliver your product or services with little or no effort on your part, then you're going to be okay. And let's look at a couple of examples. Okay. First example of a physical product, right? Just say you sold a weight loss supplement. You could literally drive traffic to a sales page or a sales funnel, and then that product would be sold and fulfilled through a fulfillment house such as ShipBob, right? That's one of the fulfillment companies that I use, ShipBob, ShipBob.com. Or if you sell on Amazon, you can do fulfillment by Amazon. Okay, this is passive. You're running a sales funnel, or you're running ads to a sales funnel or some type of sales system. People go through the system. They end up purchasing the physical supplement. And then when the order goes through, Amazon or ShipBob actually takes that order. Of course, they're going to charge you something, and they ship it out. You could be sitting on the beach in Tahiti or something. Okay. When I started out selling my flat irons on Amazon, literally the only thing I had to do was make sure that I had enough inventory in Amazon. So I'd ship in inventory once every couple of weeks. Product would sell. Amazon would pick, pack, and ship it out. And I'm sitting back there collecting checks every other week. Every other Wednesday was when Amazon pays. So I'm looking in my account every Wednesday when Amazon pays out. Oh, 15 grand here this week, 20 grand this week, 35 grand the next week. And so that was passive income. Okay. So you have to understand if the product or service that you sell is amenable to create passive income. So the first example I gave you was a physical products example. Okay. Now let's look at a digital product like an online course or an ebook, software, or some other type of digital download. That can be sold via a sales funnel, sales page, webinar, whatever, and it can be fulfilled basically by a digital download. So that's digital products are very easy to deliver. Remember, sales system or lead generation system, a fulfillment system, and a referral system. You got to have those things in order, and that's what a sales system is comprised of. Okay, so we're talking about selling a physical product. We did that with the weight loss supplement. The digital product we looked at an online course as an example, or software, whatever, and a service. So say, for example, you were in the credit repair business, right? You can drive people to your sales funnel. You can send them to a website, wherever you want them to go. Check out a webinar, sales page. And then once they sign up for your credit repair service, you can literally, and if you're not in the credit repair business and never thought about this, I don't know if you guys know this, but you can literally outsource the actual credit repair work to a back-end company. And they do all the work and all the communication with your customers in your company name on your behalf. So that's passive. You set up the lead generation system, and now you use this back-end outsource company for your fulfillment, and then you can have a referral system. So I just gave you 3 real-world examples of, if you sell a physical product, digital product, or service, how you can create passive income. But the passive income component, guys, is all predicated upon having a system in place that's going to replace you. You have to have a system in place that's going to replace you. That is the only way that you're going to get passive income. All right. Now, it all depends, once again, on what you're selling. If you're a real estate investor, you don't really have to do too much but maintain the properties and the interaction with your tenants if you want to. If you don't, you can outsource that also. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. So as I stated at the top of the show, I was going to break down the simple formula, which we did that. And that formula, guys, should help you achieve the wealth and freedom that you desire from your business. And I gave you some real life examples. Now, before we get to the last quarter of the show, guys, I just want to share my social media contact information and resource links real quick. Everything I'm going to say to you is on the website at blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. So if you're interested in elevating your entrepreneur IQ and building your business, go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, and you can go to the BEBacademy.com. I talked about it earlier. It's on the front page of the website. It's an online learning portal for entrepreneurs. Also, if you're interested in building an e-commerce business, a physical products brand or a digital products brand, we have Brand Builder Academy Elite, also on the front page of blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. And also, last but not least, Pinpoint and Monetize Your Genius, which is my online course, pound for pound, one of my best programs that helps you monetize your genius. And your genius is the intersection between your passion and your talent. The problem is most people don't know how to monetize it. Go to blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. It's on the first page of the website under my online courses. Now, if you want to connect with me, anything long, guys, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, JAYJONES at blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com, Facebook, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, Twitter, jjones001, JAYJONES001. Instagram, I got 2 IG accounts. The first one is jjones for real, JAYJONES, the number 4, REAL. Second one is Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. YouTube, guys, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the show. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit that subscribe button. Also, LinkedIn, connect with me there. Just search J Jones, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. And I think pretty much that's it. Clubhouse, I'm not really on it, but if you are on there, you want to connect at I am J Jones. So the easiest way, guys, if you can't remember that, go to the website, blackentrepreneurBlueprint.com. Click the About button. Under my bio, there are links to all of my social media contact information, and you can link up with me there. A lot of times when you DM me, guys, I get a lot of DMs, so I may not see that. So if it's something super important, make sure you send me an email. All right, let's get back to the last quarter of the show. So I broke down my simple formula: cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. This is how you control time and money, guys. Cash flow controls the money, and the passive income controls the time. So you need to start thinking about what problem you can solve that will allow you to create a system or systems that will allow you to create a consistent positive cash flow and passive income. All right. So you may be in a business where it's tough to use the freedom equation or apply the freedom equation. Right. So say, for example, you're a CPA and you're a one person shop and you do taxes or you do, accounting work. Unless you outsource that, you're never going to be able to create that passive income because you're trading hours for dollars. OK, but here's something, guys, or a solution that you can always use to, even if you're a CPA or a sole proprietor or solopreneur, whatever you want to call it. One of the things is, guys, if you have these systems in place, you can literally sell your leads. Instead of actually doing the work, you can sell your leads. Remember when I was talking about the 6 things that you can sell? Your physical products, your digital products, your services, or somebody else's physical products, somebody else's digital products, or somebody else's services. So you can sell leads. So if you're a CPA and you say, you know what, I'm tired of doing all of this accounting work. I'm just going to generate leads like I would for my own business, but I'm going to sell those leads to other CPAs. OK, so now whatever type of business you have or that you're selling, if you can generate leads, that's game over. If you know how to generate leads in a profitable manner where the lead does not cost more than the revenue that you're going to make from it, that's what every business wants. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I just have to say this. And I did a show on lead generation, right? How to make money as a lead generation business. If you're struggling right now in your business, guess what? You probably need more leads. I told you about my buddy who was a loan officer for him. You think he could have used more leads? Yeah, he's carrying around those 3 files like they were baby. He had triplets or something. The reason being is he didn't have anything else in the pipeline. So if you're able to generate leads, guys, well, not just leads, but leads in a profitable fashion, where you're making money, you don't want to have to spend $100 for a lead and you're only making $50 on the service that you're selling or the product that you're selling. You're hustling backwards and you're going out of business real quick. But if you know how to generate profitable leads, you will never, ever be out of business. You can either close the leads yourself with your sales system or you can sell leads. So even if you're not in the industry and just say, you start getting all these insurance leads. Guess what? Insurance agencies will pay you hundreds of dollars for real leads. There's companies out there, the more urgent the service is, the more they're willing to pay. So if you get leads for somebody that has a leaky roof, do you know how much money you can sell those leads for? Sometimes $100, $200 a lead. If you have leads for insurance agents, mortgage brokers, if I got a good lead and I can make 8, 10, 12, 15, 20 grand on a deal, if I'm making 3 points on a loan and a loan comes in and I do a $300,000 loan at 3 points, that's 9 stacks, right? You think I paid $250 for that lead if it's a solid lead? Hell yeah, because it makes sense. So selling leads can also be a service. And I don't want to get too heavy in that. But as long as you guys can generate leads, profitable leads, I don't care what type of business that you're in, you're always going to make money. Remember, cash flow, and I talked about it. You need a sales system, and that sales system is comprised of 3 things. A lead generation system, ding, 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 a fulfillment system, and also a referral system. That's how you scale your business, and that's how you ensure that you don't go out of business. I have a buddy of mine who's an insurance agent, And he's not licensed I think he's only licensed in like PA, Delaware, Maryland, Jersey, and somewhere else. But he gets leads from all over the country. So what does he do? He takes the leads in the states that he's not licensed in, and he sells them to other insurance agents. And he's getting $150 to $200 a lead. And once again, if that insurance agent, makes or sells a policy or whatever, an investment, they're going to make money. And he's not generating leads at a high cost. So he has a lot of content out there. He does SEO, he does workshops, he does all types of stuff. And he markets primarily in the area that he services. But sometimes people find him through referrals, and they're like, hey, I need a new auto policy, life policy, whatever it is. He's like, hey, I can't do that, but let me put you in touch with one of my friends who can take care of you, who's licensed in that state. And that friend or whatever, they buy the leads from him. And so this is a whole nother episode, but I did do an episode on lead generation, how to make money. But if you want to ensure, guys, that you stay in business, then you need to make sure you have a lead generation system. And what we're talking about today, guys, is how to build a business that creates wealth and freedom using my simple formula, which is the freedom equation. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. I'm going to close on out with another quick story. And if you've heard it before, just bear with me. But if you haven't, really lock in and understand what I'm getting at. My girls are 3 years apart. So all throughout middle school and high school, I was in a position where I had that freedom equation working, right? So I had cash flow and passive income. And so they were very participative in sports, field hockey, swimming, track, and all types of clubs and organizations and educational type groups. And so it was great because I had the freedom and flexibility to make sure that I was at everything, and I tell the story when my girls were in high school and field hockey was like their main sport. I never missed a home game. I never missed an away game. I never missed a summer scrimmage. I never missed an AAU game. None of that. And we used to travel all over the country. I even coached a couple of games when the coaches weren't there. And actually, I'm undefeated, y'all. I'm 2-0, right? So I'm an undefeated field hockey coach, in addition to all my other monikers, right? But the whole thing was some of their friends would say, damn, does your dad work? And they start laughing. They were like, yeah, he works, but he has his own business. And I created and crafted that business around my lifestyle. I used the freedom equation. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. So that allows me to write books. It allows me to focus on things that are important to me, things that fulfill me, work on charities, do all the type of stuff that I enjoy doing. But you have to get that equation up and running. And so that's one of the biggest blessings that I've had, in the last 10 plus years, and when I talk about my girls in high school, they were in high school a period of 7 years. They overlapped 1 year from my oldest daughter's freshman year in high school to my youngest daughter's last year in high school. That was a 7-year period. And I never missed any of the games or anything because I had the freedom and flexibility. So when you have that, you're able to do and focus on the things that are important to you. My family is super important to me, obviously, my wife and my children. So this is the type of thing, guys, that this freedom equation can do for you. And you want to build your business around your lifestyle, how to create wealth and freedom using my freedom equation. I hope this hits you and makes you think a different way. Okay, because once again, I know some of us are in businesses that require us to do all the work, but where you want to get to is a point where you have freedom and flexibility and that money coming in. I can't even explain to you how that feels, right? So I literally can pick up and work from anywhere. Now, my wife still works as a principal, so she doesn't have that flexibility or freedom, but I can literally pick up. If I wanted to go to LA today, I can go to LA, do what I need to do. I have fulfillment for my hot sauce and all my other products where I'm not picking, packing, and shipping. Okay, if I create digital products, my online courses, selling my books or whatever, I have fulfillment for that. So I'm not physically sending out physical books or downloading when you guys buy, go to the website unlockingchatgpt.com. You get the book. It's a digital download. I don't have to do anything with that. And I want you guys to start thinking about lifestyle businesses, or how you can transform your current business to give you this beautiful gift. And that's really what it is. It's a beautiful gift to be able to have that wealth and freedom to do what you need to do. And the last story that I told my oldest daughter is, and I'm going to close with this one, is when we looked to buy a RE/MAX franchise before the crash of 2008, my partners and I, we went over to Jersey. There was a guy that owned the whole territory of South Jersey, Cherry Hill, Camden, Mount Laurel, Moorestown, all of that stuff, right? So this is South Jersey. And we went to meet him. We're all suited up, because that's how we roll in our mortgage business. We had to look good because we had to represent. We're a black company dealing with people's finances. So we go over to his office. He comes in with flip-flops, bathing trunks, swimming trunks, and a tank top. It was like July or something. Hey guys, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, you wanna buy a RE/MAX franchise in Jersey? Oh yeah, we'd love to have you. Blah, blah. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, man, we over here killing ourselves. We hot as hell, buttoned up collars, ties on, jackets, and this cat got on flip-flops, swimming trunks, and a tank top. Because he had it like that. He had like about 5 or 6 offices, RE/MAX offices that he owned, where he had people in place that would run and manage the offices. And basically he was just overseeing things. So once again, today's show topic was how to build a business that creates wealth and freedom using this simple formula, which is the freedom equation. Don't forget it. Cash flow plus passive income equals freedom. Now, I say this, guys, each and every week because I mean it. We get more and more downloads because of you, the BEB family. I appreciate you guys so much. Please continue to spread the word about the podcast. Also, the website. We want BlackEntrepreneurBlueprint.com to be the resource for Black entrepreneurs. Go on to the website, hit the Learn tab. It's a drop down, and we have all types of resources about marketing, e-commerce, scaling your business, mindset, and strategy. Everything you need to elevate your entrepreneur IQ. Remember, it's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us. It's about building an economic power base in the worldwide Black community by building and supporting Black-owned businesses. Love you guys. See you same time next week. Peace.